being one side of my life, I have another side to me, and that which involves a lot of spiritual practices, like a lot of meditations and yoga, and just reading different books. And one of them was The Magic of Thinking Big. I came across, I think, 3 months ago. This book really changed my life, and I began incorporating this into my daily spiritual practices. And it's very simple. It basically just talks about how it's not the size of your brain, but it's the size of your thoughts. You can be, like an A student throughout your education and throughout your college degree. But it's after that, when you get into the workforce, how well do you do? And when you're working, it doesn't depend upon the knowledge that you've gained through your education and in your classes. I feel it's more to do with how smart you are and how well you're practically able to apply that. I've seen many people aren't practically able to apply what they've studied during their undergrad and grad. But many people who are B students, C students, perform so well, and some of the most successful people are college dropouts, having actually got a formal education. And what's common among each one of them is their positive thinking, their power to think big and positive. So I think if you notice among unsuccessful people, the most common thing they have is negativity. They keep thinking negatively. And you can call that the failure disease. And what do you do to cure yourself of the failure disease? What are the reasons that many people have tons of excuses as to why I'm failing or why I won't be successful. And some of them are, but my health isn't good. I have a cold and people don't show up. Again, that shouldn't stop you from performing. That shouldn't stop you from, getting your work done. If you concentrate most of your time and your mind just on your sickness, you're denying yourself the time to actually positively apply your goals to different areas. Another one is I'm not intelligent. And I think this was something that I suffered too. I would be like, I'm not intelligent. Oh, that person's really good at math and, they'll get there in life and I won't. But after reading this book, things really began to change, and I was like, no, it's not my IQ. I am intelligent in different places, and none of us are intelligent in the same area. Now, if I ask you, or each one of us has different talents, and those talents are our intelligence. Another thing is I'm too old or I'm too young. There are people who are 23 and who are successful. There are people who are 50 and who still aren't. It's not your age. Truly, your age is just a number. Your success does not depend upon your age. Louise L. Hay, she is the goddesses when it comes to positive affirmations, and I follow her personally. I love her. I love her affirmations, and she's 80, 85 now, and she is one of the most successful people, and her success started, I think, when she was in her 60s. So again, your age truly doesn't matter. Luck is not on my side. Oh, that's bullshit. Luck is not something that happens to you, but you make it. You make it with your efforts. You put in the effort, and that's how you get lucky. So, don't just procrastinate and say that, oh, luck's on my side. No, luck isn't always just going to happen. You need to put in that effort towards whatever your dream is. Give in your 100% every day. Spend even 10 minutes. If you spend towards your dream, eventually it begins to manifest. Like, my dream is to be a life coach, and my dream is to help people. And 4 months ago, I started my blog called Girl in the Wild World. And initially I was like, oh, people aren't seeing, or no one's getting in touch with me. But I was like, no, I need to put in an effort. Every day for 10 minutes, I would dedicate my time to my blog. Things are happening, so put in time towards your dream. Now, I think, the problem when it comes to success is we're all fearful. We all have fears in some areas of our life, and fear can be a great hindrance. But what we need to see is your fear can also be your greatest teachers. You literally need to look fear in the eyes and ask, why? Why am I so scared? Why do you show up? And the first step to that is action cures fears. So take steps. I get scared when I have to talk to a group of people, but I asked myself, why am I so scared? And the answer that comes up is, you're not confident about yourself. You lack self-confidence. So now, since I know I lack self-confidence, or I lacked self-confidence, I began to take actions. I began to talk, and even though I stutter at times, I was like, no, this is not going to stop me. I'm still going to talk because I need to get my message out to people. So that's your first step. Go to the root cause, pin down your fear, and just know what exactly you're scared of. And again, go back to the first step and take action. There is an action for every kind of fear. What I concluded from this is, if you're fearful about something, go do that. Get into it and kill the fear. To have some positive reinforcement in your life, and to begin this, I have a positive playlist. I start my day listening after my meditations. That's how I go about it. It's my meditations and then my playlist, my positive playlist. And one of my favorite songs is Good Life by One Republic. And it's just that word, it's going to be a good life, positively reinforces me every day. I'm just like, yes, it is going to be a good life. It is going to be a good life. And I keep repeating that. I sometimes listen to that song like 3-4 times, back to back. And so just listen to positive songs. Because I personally feel songs somewhere connect to each and every person, and listening to good songs, positive, happy songs, can change your day. They're also a really healing agent. So if you're sad, instead of listening to sad songs, listen to happy ones. We all go through, various struggles in our life. We all have our own stories that sometimes we don't tell. We just keep it. We're like, no, this isn't something I need to tell people because no one's going to understand. No one will, people will make fun of me. And I thought about that. And I used to keep my secrets to myself. My journal was my best friend, and I would write it down in my journal that, oh, today it was like this, oh, this happened. But by keeping secrets and by becoming a victim of your struggles, you go into depression, you just become a loner. And it's really important to remember is, don't be a victim of your struggles. Stop it. Okay, after the incident, for probably a month, it takes time to heal, but get help. Talk to your friends. Unless and until you speak up, no one's going to know how you're feeling. No one's a mind reader here. And talk to your friends. Your friends are there for you, and I know all our friends understand us. And talk to your family about it. Talk to people, get help, go to the counseling center, get help, no matter what it is. And use your stories to empower you. Use your stories to empower you and empower others. I have a story. My struggle was my body. I used to hate it. And when I was young, I was called names, and for them, it was, just for fun. And for them, they thought they were playing with me. But somewhere deep down, it was so strongly reinforced, oh, you are a fat person. Oh, you're ugly. And it took me years and years to get over it. In fact, even like me waiting for an elevator, and if I can see myself, I would play with my hair and I would make sure there's no mark on my face. And one day my mom, she pointed it out to me. She's like, why are you doing this? You're beautiful. And for some reason that day it really hit me, and I was like, oh my God, I need to do something about this. And I began blogging about it. I began writing about it. And I slowly realized that my story can help empower other people. There are millions of people out in this world going through what you're going through. And by just blogging about it, you might have someone comment that, oh, I do this to get over it, and apply that and just see the changes occur. And that's what I'm doing now. I've come up with with a brand called BU. I'm working on it, and BU is basically going to be something there to empower other girls, even guys, and just to empower people and to remind them that you need to be yourself, completely 100% yourself. There isn't anyone else in this world like you. You are unique. So remember that. And working on that, don't compare yourself with anyone. I think that's a big mistake we all do. We're like, oh, look at them, they're really intelligent and they're successful. Oh, poor me. Don't compare yourself. You have talents that they might not have. There might be, people, yes, like you, who like the same thing as you. But when you really invest your time in your passion and work towards it, you bring it to the world in a different way. Now, I know there are many life coaches. There's Gabrielle Bernstein, there's Mastin Kipp. There are many people out there. But I know what I give to the world, what I will be giving to the world, is going to be different from them. And that's what makes you stand up. So don't give up on your passion. Don't give up on your dream. Like I said, keep working towards it every single day. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour, it's up to you. But work towards it and, just fall in love with what you're doing. Fall in love with yourself. It's only when you fall in love with yourself can you ever achieve anything in life. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. So if you don't love yourself, you're as well going to attract people who are not going to give you that love. So spend time every day for an hour with yourself. For girls, well, I call this Goddesses Time. My life coaches, Ryan and Riley, introduced me to this concept. They're like, have an hour to yourself. Call it Goddesses Time. So during my Goddesses Time, I'm, in the tub soaking up and reading a book. I do my meditation sometimes, or, I'm just drawing or painting, and I disconnect that time from any form of technology. I'm like, I don't need to answer my phone. Whoever it is can wait. I don't need to listen to music now. It's okay. I don't need to check my Facebook or Twitter. That's okay. They all can wait. Disconnect and just stay with yourself and fall in love with yourself. Because I cannot stress enough on the importance of falling in love with yourself. Ever since I fell in love with myself, and I'm still in the process, because there are days when I get up and I'm just going to be like, oh, I don't like myself today, or oh, there's something wrong in me. But the entire process is so miraculous, so beautiful, and I see that now I'm attracting people who love me, who are there for me, who support me, and I'm attracting people who are like-minded rather than who, criticize me. Positive criticism is good, but negative, it's never good to be in negative associations. No matter as much as you love them, if they're pulling you down, if they're negatively bringing you down, I suggest, you cut contact with them, or spend less time with them and spend more time with people who empower you, who make you a better person, who make you feel better. And with that, I'm done, guys. And does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, you were mentioning the name of your blog.
Girlinthewildworld.com.
What's the author of the book that you mentioned?
David Schwartz. Yeah, it's a must read. It will really change your life. Any other questions?
Do you talk a little bit maybe about how you develop some of these things? Do you make lists? Do you sit and think about this during that hour that you have for your guys' time? Or how have you come up with some of these processes that you're using?
For me, I came across, well, to go back to the root of it, I grew up in a family where spirituality and prayers are a big part of our life. Our day starts with that. And my mom, you know, she's a lot like me, so she's a lot into positive reinforcement, positive talks, and reading a lot of these books. So I was introduced to this entire process at a very, very young age through my mom. But along the way, along the obstacles that I personally faced in life, I would just Google, like once we had the internet, I would just Google stuff up and, you know, and look up in Amazon different books that are available. And even on YouTube, through Louise L. Hay, I think I came across Daring Virtue. Through her, I came across Marie Forleo, Gabrielle Bernstein. So you come across, I think, people once, you know, you get in touch with one person. And yes, sometimes I do sit, during my goddesses time, I do sit and write in my journal, what can I do? Or, you know, okay, so I had this problem today, and I don't have an answer for that. What should I do? And sometimes I look it up online, or I just browse through the different books I have. And surprisingly, they always have the answer there. It's either on the net, either in the books, or I talk to my friends about it. I talk to my mom about it. You know, I'm having this problem, Mom, what should I do? And I think investing in a life coach was one of the best decisions I made. And so I emailed Ryan and Riley, you know, I have this problem. What should I do? What do you suggest? And their answers are always amazing. It's different. And I'm like, wow, okay. No, I never thought about it in that way. And it's basically how I came about.
Okay. Thanks.
Any other questions?
How did you find your life coach?
Well, I read this blog called The Daily Love by Mastin Kipp. And so they began to post, they were guest bloggers for Mastin Kipp. And so one day on Facebook, I just looked up, and they at that time, they had an offer where it was called the Young Entrepreneur Coaching. And I was like, I need that. And I saw the price. I was like, okay, this is affordable. It's like $650, $700. I was like, I'll ask Dad and let me see what he says. And my dad agreed, and I invested. And now it's the best thing.
So it's an online coach that you have?
Yeah, you Skype with them. I mean, if you're they're down in LA, so I think if you're there, you would have a one-on-one with them.
Right.
But since I'm all the way here, so it was basically Skype sessions.
Oh, wow.
And I took up just the 5-week one.
Yeah.
So I had like 5 sessions with them, but it was still so transformational.
Wow. That's really cool.